In today's print-on-demand world, it's easier than ever to create merchandise related to your book. T-shirts, tote bags, stickers, and more are simple to customize and make. So today I want to talk about how to create merchandise to sell alongside your book. If you're looking to build an author brand, add more revenue streams, and create more items for your fans, you should consider book merchandise. I'm going to share with you some different types of merchandise, where you can design them and create them, and how you might approach adding this to your business. And if you hang on until the end of this video, I'll let you know where you can get a free readership building checklist, which will help you better understand your target readers so you know what type of merchandise they might like. This is Ignited Ink Writing, a channel dedicated to helping authors like you transform your writing so it lingers with your readers, because writing that lingers gets remembered and recommended to others. I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and author. Let's start with what counts as book merchandise. Last week I talked about author swag. This is book merchandise that you give away for free, like a bookmark. For the purposes of this video, what I mean by book merchandise are the items you're going to sell alongside your book. These are larger ticket items than the things you give away for free. Here's an example of what these might be. T-shirts and tank tops, sweatshirts, hats, bags, masks, stickers, mugs, water bottles, fancy bookmarks, journals and notebooks, phone, tablet, and e-reader cases. When I was selecting the merchandise to include in my online store, I thought about my book and my target audience. I realized that the people I'm appealing to are readers, so I picked items related to readers. One of them is this magic mug. It's starting to fade a little bit, but it changes color when you add hot water. So this is an image from my book, and on the other side is a quote from my book. My book is When Magic Calls. It's a collection of modern fairy tales. So this mug is kind of like my magical item that I can offer fans. I also have these t-shirts. This is another image and quote from my book, and they come in tote bags. I picked these bags because anymore people need reusable bags for their groceries. This one is a good size to take to a bookstore. I also have bigger ones for groceries. So I was trying to think about things related to books as well as useful items that people might want for their everyday life. You might have a different thought process when you select the items in your store. If you write something like romance, you might have a little fun with it and include pillows, blankets, even lingerie or underwear. A memoir author I know wrote a book about what it was like to be bipolar as a young girl. She includes color-changing mood rings in her book merchandising, which I think is brilliant because it's so related to her book and fun. So try and think about items like that. Now that you understand what counts as book merchandise, and maybe you're starting to think about what you could include, I want to share where to get images and designs for author merchandise. When it comes to book merchandise, please think beyond your cover. Your cover is meant to sell your book. It is meant to be in that shape and on that size of an item. It doesn't always translate well to other products. For example, if I am a fan of a rock band and I want to get a t-shirt with their images on it, I probably don't just want a t-shirt of the album cover, especially if that album cover doesn't have images of the band members on it. Instead, I might want a t-shirt that has their fancy logo or all of the members of the band. Think about that with your books too. Try and manipulate the images maybe from your cover or include other ones so that it's still related to your books, but it fits that product better. Also, just because you own the rights to put that image on your book does not mean you own the rights to put it on other items and sell it. If you used stock images, if your cover designer used real photographs, you might not have those rights. So you need to double check to make sure that you even can put those images on other products and sell them. If you have an illustrated cover, as long as you bought that design outright, you're probably okay. In my case, I made sure and had a customized cover where the images I own entirely. I can do whatever I want with them, so I knew I wouldn't have to worry about it when it came to book merchandise. To get these images and to design them for your products, you can do it yourself through a program like Canva, but understand you're going to have to know how dimensions work. You're going to have to know the different pixel qualities so that you can provide the appropriate image for that object. Sometimes that can get a little complicated or confusing. If you just don't want to mess with it, ask your cover designer or another graphic designer. My cover designer was happy to help me with these things. It gave her a little extra income. She already knew me, my branding, all of that stuff, so it was a quick, fun project for her. Also, if you go for a cover designer, it might be a little less expensive than a graphic designer because they're hoping to retain you as a client. And when you are creating the designs for your merchandise, remember that this is a representation of your author brand. So keep in mind your branding colors, your branding fonts, the vibe that you're going for. You want this to be consistent across all of your products. In a previous video, I talked about the importance of author branding, so if you want to learn more about that, go back to that video and check it out. I'll link to it below. But it's really important that your stuff is consistent and it looks like it goes together. Even if you have different books, your author brand can be what ties all of it together. Now that we have a better understanding of where and how to get the designs for your merchandise, let's talk about how to make book merchandise. Like publishing, there are two major approaches to book merchandise. You can either create it yourself, self-publishing, or you can have it made and shipped for you, traditional publishing. If you decide to create your merchandise yourself, it might be fun and it's going to be super unique. It's going to be handcrafted by you, so that can mean that you can charge more for it. It might be more exciting for fans. Also understand though that you are responsible for all aspects of that item in this case. You're responsible for the quality, you're responsible for getting it to your customer in a timely manner, you're responsible for the pricing, the materials, the time it takes to create it, all of that stuff. So when you're hand making things, it is going to take you longer, which means you won't be able to produce as many. So pay attention to how long it takes you to make something. You might have to turn off your orders if you get too many all at once. Also, I recommend putting up a banner on your website, wherever you're selling your products from, when you're on vacation, so that purchasers know it's going to take you longer to get their products shipped to them. You're also responsible for dealing with customer service. If anything goes wrong, all of that, that's on you. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to be more of an author and an editor and not have to worry about that side of the business. So I chose the more traditional route. You can have your products made and produced and shipped by another company and still sell them through your website. I went with Printful for this. That's where most of my stuff comes from. What they do is they integrate with my website. So I uploaded my designs on Printful and then I told them to put those on my website. And now whenever someone orders it from my website, it goes directly to Printful. They make it, they ship it, they take care of all of that stuff for me. So that saves me time and energy, probably a little bit of money too. However, that means I cannot customize my items in the same way. They aren't going to be as unique as if I was hand making them. And I'm not going to be able to customize the packaging. So one advantage to doing this yourself is you can create a fun unboxing experience where you include a free sticker, a bit of swag in there, you include fancy packaging so it's fun to open. It's an experience worthy of maybe filming or taking pictures and sharing on social media. That's going to get you free word of mouth marketing. If you go through a company like Printful, you don't really get to customize your packaging in the same way. You can, but usually you have to pay for it, and in my opinion, it's not really worth it. So I was willing to give that up in order to not have to deal with that side of the business. The hybrid version of these two types of book merchandise are to have part of it made for you, ship it to you and store it yourself, and ship it yourself. For example, I could bulk order these t-shirts. It would probably cost me less per item. And I could store them, and then when I package them, I could include a free sticker, I could wrap it pretty, I could do all of that stuff. I could also order maybe a plain white one and tie-dye it, and so people can have a custom tie-dye one or something like that. That's a great hybrid option if you want the best of both worlds. I don't have the space to store those things, but you might. You also need to understand how many items to order at any given time to give yourself the best chance at selling all of them and not losing money on it. and I did not know that when I very first started selling items, so I decided not to go with that method. Those are the 3 different approaches you can take to producing your book merchandise. Next, I want to share an editor and author's advice for creating book merchandise. Pay attention to your profit margins first. I know free shipping looks great. That's what I have on my website. However, make sure you factor that shipping cost into the price of the item. Anytime you see free shipping, it's not actually free. They just added that price into the item price so they could put free shipping. Do the same thing or you're going to lose money on some of these items. On some of the items I sell, I don't have a very big profit margin, and the cost of shipping would be more than that profit margin if I did truly free shipping. So you add that into the price. Also, pay attention to which items and designs cost more. For example, embroidery costs more than a screen print on a t-shirt. So there's going to be an extra fee for that. Make sure that you're factoring that into the price of your items. This is part of why I decided not to offer some items on my website. I wanted to keep my products more affordable, and that embroidery just made it too much for my liking. And finally, have fun with these things. Pick things that you would like to wear. It's exciting to see others with merchandise related to your book. I love it when I see people in my t-shirts, with my tote bags, with my stickers. It's so fun for me. So have fun designing and producing these products. Pick things that you would want and use. I wear this t-shirt and another one a lot of the time. If you want to see my approach to this, my products, how it looks on my website, what items I chose to include, go to CaitlinBurvey.com. Most of the items on there are related to my book, When Magic Calls, a collection of modern fairy tales. All of the images and the quotes come from the book. Also, you will see some items that have my company logo on them, Ignited Ink Writing, and some other things in there too. Look at other authors as well to see which items they're using, which ones you like, which ones you don't like. Use that for inspiration. So, what's your favorite bit of book-related merchandise you have ever purchased? For me, it was my Light Up Harry Potter wand. I was so excited when I first got that, and I've actually used it as a flashlight more than a few times. For more videos on book marketing and other aspects of writing, subscribe to Ignited Ink Writing, a channel dedicated to helping authors like you transform your writing so it lingers with your readers, because writing that lingers gets remembered and recommended to others. I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and author. To find out more about me, go to www.ignitedinkwriting.com. There you will find the free readership building checklist, which will help you better understand your target readers and what products they might like to see you offer. That checklist is also linked in the comments below. And remember, you can see my approach to author merchandise at CaitlinBurvey.com. And now it's your turn to think about your book and what products you might like to offer that are related to it. Then decide how you want to create and ship your merchandise to ignite your ink.